Okay, good morning, everyone. If you'd like to join us, this morning we have Pastor Lowther from Memorial United Methodist Church here in Summersville, who will be opening us up in prayer.
Let us pray. Most holy and loving God, Lord, again we come to you rejoicing for this blessed day that you've given to us. Lord, we praise you for the gift of this community, Lord, that you blessed us to be able to serve. And Lord God, as the County Commission comes together here this morning, we pray, Lord, that you help us to see the lives of your people, to see the faces of those within our communities. Lord, to be good stewards of all that you've blessed into our hands to serve you. We pray, Lord God, that you guide our thoughts and help allow your Spirit, Lord, to just take control and, Lord, to lead us into your will and in your way. Lord God, I just pray this all in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord and our Savior. And amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pastor Lowther, thank you.
Recording in progress.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to bring this meeting to order. This is Wednesday, May 21st, 2025, regularly scheduled meeting of the Nicholls County Commission. Is there any public comment?
No.
Okay. No public comment. Would you guys like to begin?
I'll make a motion to review and waive the reading and approve the minutes of May 7th, 2025 as presented.
There is a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Upon review of the exonerations as presented by the Nicholas County Assessor, I move to approve accordingly.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Make a motion that upon review of estate and fiduciary matters as presented by the Nicholas County Clerk, we move to approve accordingly unless otherwise noted.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried.
Upon submission of budget revisions received from elected officials and department heads, the Commission will take appropriate action as deemed necessary.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
The motion is carried.
Upon review of invoices as submitted by various departmental offices, the Commission will take the appropriate action as deemed necessary.
There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried. Okay, we have for the Nichols County Parks and Recreation Commission, we need to fill an unexpired term for the office of Jessica Taylor, the term of office expiring October 15, 2026. Do we have anybody?
Not yet.
Okay, we'll table that one. For the Nichols County Fire Board, fill the unexpired term of the office of Angela Evans, term expiring February 6, 2027.
Same with that. We had a gentleman who was going to take the position, and the day that we made the motion, he decided not to. So back on the search.
Okay. All right, so this morning, the first thing up, it's 9:10, we can continue moving. Mrs. Lawson with the Region 4 Planning and Development Council. She has some things to bring before us.
All right. First on the agenda, we have the Craigsville PSD closeout documentation, I think is how it's referenced. You had approved this contingent here a while back on final payments being made for the project, and Patty and I have worked together, and that has taken place. And so we have just simply updated that letter. It got a little outdated. And so that's the first item for your consideration. All funds have been expended, all generators tested under load and operational, and just project is complete.
Okay, good. And you have signed releases from all the contractors and everything?
They've all been paid out for a very long time now.
Okay.
And so I imagine all of whatever that paperwork was necessary has been taken care of.
Make a motion that we approve the final closeout documentation for the Craigsville generator project.
There's a motion on the floor. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion has carried.
There's that. I'll just kind of hand these to you as we go through them, if you just want to sign them all at the end or however you'd like to go about it. Next, we have Birch River PSD Mill Creek Waterline Extension Project and Grant Amendment number 7. So that project is essentially complete. The contractor has completed all of the work and been paid in full. But we now have to prepare like a closeout report for the funding agency. In one pot of the funding, there's still a little money left over. PSD is hopeful that they can try to utilize those funds. We don't know if that request will be successful or not, but going to take a shot at it. The Community Development Block Grant that the commission sponsored for the PSD, the period of performance expires June 30, 2025. So just kind of in standard fashion, we have asked for a year extension. We don't really think a year will be necessary, but they have already sent us the amendment that extends the project for the period of a year. And so that's what we have for that one.
And is that where the funds are still available?
Our administration fees, I think, are about all that is remaining in the CDBG funding. They probably won't have much opportunity to request use for those, but the other side of the funding came from the Infrastructure Jobs and Development Council, and that's where they're hoping they'll be able to utilize those dollars. And then keeping the CDBG grant active allows us to continue to charge admin while we're helping them through that process.
Do you have a timeline or information on how much is still available in the infrastructure side?
I can pull it up. I don't have it in front of me. I can let you guys know. Probably somewhere around 100,000, I would say.
Were they looking for a truck?
That's what they
Thought so.
really would like
Yeah.
to, because they've added, many customers over the course of the last 5 years or so. So their territory has expanded, and their poor truck, I can't remember how old they said it is, but it's got some age on it.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the Birch River Public Service District time extension grant amendment number 7 as presented.
There's a motion on the floor, is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried.
There's that one. And then this last one kind of plays into both of the 2 remaining agenda items. We also have a time extension and grant amendments for the Hinkle Mountain Broadband Project. So these are going to be amendment number 7 to the initial grant, which was allocated in 2017, and amendment number 5 to the second grant, which was allocated in 2018. The 17 grant, we're requesting that it be extended through June 30th of 2026. However, the 18 grant can only be extended through August the 30th, 2025. Following this agenda item is a discussion about the contract with the contractor who bid on the project. It is our understanding, based on the contract documents, that their construction time is 60 days. So as long as we stay on schedule with what is outlined currently, they should have plenty of time to get it knocked out by August the 30th, 2025.
And it has to be complete for this grant to be paid out. Is that what you're worried about?
So,
I mean, how far along in the project to make sure the grant's still good?
we need to spend all of the money from the 18 grant by August the 30th. We need to have them like a final, they're, not to get too convoluted, but, so that funding, sorry, get this thing out of my pocket.
What is the dollar figure of that grant?
That one is the larger of the two, it's 500,000.
Can that be the first money in? I mean, to make
Yes,
sure. Okay.
yes, we will prioritize that funding, so we will spend it first. If there are other community development block grants that are spending money that have like a newer allocation, say like 19 or 20, the development office can switch out funds. You know, they can kind of reappropriate to spend the older dollars first and kind of backfill some of these older projects. So there, you know, we may have a little bit of flexibility with some of those funds, but for now, that's where we're at.
So on these, CityNet's the ISP, right?
CityNet is the ISP,
And Qantas is the
and
installer.
Quanta is the actual
Quanta.
construction contractor. contractor.
So, do they understand the severity or the impact if that's not completed on time, and do they have any concerns that you know of?
I don't know that we have had like a very direct discussion with them, but my understanding, because CityNet has worked with them previously, as well as Thompson and Litton, is that they get things knocked out very quickly.
Right.
So the majority of this project is fiber, where the fiber's just being hung on existing power poles. So, you know, that happens pretty quickly. There's only one small section of line that has to be buried on the national forest, because that's what they wanted.
It's up towards the end, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Is that trenched or bored?
I'm not sure, but I would guess trenched.
would we be able to request a letter from CityNet saying that they do have everything in line with Quanta and that there's no hurdles anticipated on completeness on time? I mean, it's kind of a lot that we've got hanging out there, $500,000.
The contract may take care of that because it is spelled out in the contract that they have 60 days for completion of the work and then 90 days to final payment. And then there are liquidated damages clauses in the contract as well.
I just don't want it to fall through due to something that's beyond our control. I mean, I'm not faulting CityNet, you know, we've had a great partnership with them, but the fact that they know that this is, you know, very pressing as far as fundage.
And I don't know, the CityNet is the ISP if that,
Or whoever
maybe
is-
it's Thompson and Litton.
Okay, there you go,
Maybe.
there you go. Whoever that is that's overseeing the contract directly.
And we
Contractors.
also have the, we talked the other day about scheduling the pre-construction conference.
Mhm.
That is also something that can be discussed, is like
Okay,
you
yeah,
have to
that'd be
stick
fine.
to the, you know, the project schedule.
If we backdate that to the 20th, then they would have to start by June 20th at the latest to give you guys 10 days to close everything out. I mean, whatever that, you know what I mean, we could basically start at the end and start backdating and set a hard start date.
Well, the day of the pre-construction, it was early June. It was
Third.
like the first,
First, second, third, something through there.
something like that. Our understanding is that Thompson and Litton will probably issue their notice to proceed that same day, and that's what starts the clock ticking.
Okay.
That's when the,
Yes,
but we can discuss that further and coordinate, and just to make sure that everybody's on the same page, and that way you guys, you know, have confidence in
Yeah, we just
the
don't want to
project
drop the
being
ball in the-
completed. Yeah, absolutely.
The ninth inning.
Yep.
We did the motion. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve the time extension for grant amendments number 5 and number 7.
There's a motion on the floor, is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is carried.
And just whatever you need us to do, you let us know, and we'll do whatever we need to do to make you guys comfortable with.
Yeah,
moving
as long as that
forward.
nobody anticipates any hurdles. I'd like to see that the last
Now,
one fall through.
I just got a text, Clint wants to be in on this.
Yes, so the very last item is actually to discuss the contract itself.
You guys know,
There's this.
this is what?
That is the
Well, that's
extension
just-
request letter and then the 2 supporting grant amendments. And all the grant amendment indicates is it extends the period of performance, just changes the date.
And this is the part that we're gonna bid back out again, or?
You are good to go with bidding. You're
No, I mean,
solid.
as far as the legal aspect?
That's on that one, not on this one.
Okay.
Yep,
Hinkle Mountain, he's already been selected.
Okay.
yep,
Yes.
you're good on Hinkle Mountain.
Yeah, because he already did all the work on
It gets confusing when you have projects,
Your call has
multiple
been forwarded
projects of
to
the
an
same
automated
nature.
voice message system.
Straight one, you might go. Ooh,
it. You calling?
Good morning. How are you doing? No, you're fine. We'll put you on speaker, okay? All right, great.
On the phone, we have Clint Bischoff, who was the attorney of record when this project started. So, good morning, Clint.
Good morning, Commission.
I have Cassie here, so we're getting ready to walk into the Hinkle Mountain Broadband Expansion Construction Contract discussion. So, can you hear everybody?
Yes, sir, I can. Thank you.
Okay. Miss Cassie?
Clint, if you, so we have already talked about, the project just kind of at a high level. If you wouldn't mind to brief the commission on your recommendation regarding the contract with Quanta for construction.
Sure, Cassie, that'd be my pleasure. Gentlemen, part of where we are in the phase of this work, and this is the 2023 Hinkle Mountain project. So we're at the phase where work is going to begin. So what I was sent by Quantum, who is the contractor on the job, is essentially I'll describe it as an excavators or not a general contractors, but a whatever business Quantum is in is really their version of an A1A contract that was sent over. Now, it was quite lengthy. This is 70 pages. I looked through everything in the contract. I don't see anything in there that would need to be changed. Cassie and I have had multiple conversations about the contents of the contract, what the timeline is for this program. At the end of the day, my recommendation is that the contract is it's fine for the commission to sign. There's nothing in there that would make the contract voidable or anything like that. The only thing would be lack of performance by Quantum. This job is quite finite in terms of the work, which is effectively just hanging line, and there's a small portion that's to be put underground. The length of the contract is finite. It's very short. The amount of money that we're talking about here, relatively speaking, is a small amount of money. And I want to, of course, say that it's a lot of money to everybody, but in terms of infrastructure creation and really doing what they're hired to do, these are all well within the guidelines of what I think is a comfortable amount in terms of price and how they want to go about doing the work, and most importantly the timeline that they have to do this work. And this work will be done by September of 2025. So gentlemen, my recommendation to you is that this contract is ready to sign. Commissioner Chapman, I talked to Cassie about the contract addresses the manner in which we would go about signing this contract, and what we would do is get a final copy from Quantum. I would just review that to make sure everything looks the same. I would send it down to you gentlemen to sign, and then we would send it back and they would countersign that agreement.
That sounds fine. We just need to do this exponentially. So as quickly as you could get it going, Clint.
I think he lost service.
Your call has been forwarded to an auto.
You all understand.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic.
Did he get us, or do we got
If
anything
we
else to
can't
talk
get him
about?
back, you know
Yeah.
what to do. So
Think we're
let's
good.
just get it moving, and I'll be available whenever you want to do. But probably the first signature should come from them, and then to us, and then when I sign it, then we distribute it. So
And typically, whenever you have the pre-construction meeting, that's when you also sign the contracts, the engineer issues the notice to proceed. So what we can try to do is have it all set up for that day when we have that meeting, and that's kind of solidifies
they're ready to-
everything.
Are they going to have to mobilize from another job, or is there another job in progress that'll take them a while? Or are they ready to put boots on the ground as soon as we sign?
I will find out
Yeah,
exactly
that
what their
means a lot right there.
mobilization schedule is like.
Okay.
Need
All
to
right,
make a note to do that.
Is there anything, we don't have to vote on anything of that, it's just a discussion. All right, thank you, Cassie.
Absolutely.
And here's all your paperwork.
Thank you
for
much.
today. Okay, our next appointment is at 9:30. It is to talk about the proclamation of National Men's Health Week, and since Gary's the most healthy, he can talk.
I can definitely wing something here real quick. So 53 years old, I decided I was completely out of shape and tried to get back into shape, still trying. I think it's a very important aspect that you take for granted in your 20s and 30s and 40s, and somewhere through there you start realizing that the old body's not as young as it used to be. So we actually want to proclaim or acknowledge that we have National Men's Health Week and National Men's Health Month upon us. And I'm assuming that's the ribbons out on the front? Is that what that's?
No, that is for,
I get the colors all mixed up.
It's green. I thought,
Yeah.
I didn't know what that was for either.
Yeah. So, anyways, we'd like to encourage everybody to try and live a healthy and active lifestyle, and make your good, proper nutritional selections, and keep the fun to a level that's conducive to healthy men's.
And we have the two old guys here. Gary, you've lost 50 pounds,
60.
60 pounds. I've lost almost 80 pounds. What about the kid?
I've lost 25 pounds.
Absolutely. So
I'm holding my ground.
Hey, you're getting started early.
Yeah.
There you go.
it took me 2 years, huh?
How about you, Ray? Awesome.
Hey,
See,
good.
man.
Good.
Absolutely.
I see you're still carrying dead weight.
Yeah.
Couldn't help that one.
I can't say anything else. Mac today, that's rough.
Definitely not
okay.
recompensed on this level, right?
So, do we have a motion on the floor to sign this letter? Proclamation?
So we make a motion. Oh, go ahead. I was gonna make a motion
Do it.
upon reading.
There you go.
But you
Right.
take your.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Okay, we're back at 9:40 a.m. and we're here with our Honorable Sheriff Johnny Evans to ask us for money like always. So,
So what I'm handing you is a copy of a printout and then so when I come and ask for a budget meeting, apparently I misspoke and I'm here to fall on the sword, I guess. The salary increase for the base salary and the deputy position was not, you all did grant exactly what I asked for, but that was not put in there. I thought it was, and it had not been. So the difference is, for the salary increase for base salary and a senior deputy position is $42,848.34. And then if we would add the sergeant and corporal pay in there, the increase for them, which was 50 extra on the corporal and 100 extra on the sergeant, was $65,908.59. Now I know the county has had to tap into some money to fulfill this year's budget. So what I would like to do is, if we can work together and we'll forget, I won't do anything with the sergeant corporal this year and just do the base salary of the deputy and the senior deputy position. And I think I can probably come up with, we should have a little bit of money left over in salaries because of Deets retiring and Kate Alderman leaving us for the city. And so I'm thinking about between $10,000 and $15,000. I have a little bit of money in home confinement that I could take a little bit out of, and maybe on concealed weapons, if the county could meet me halfway with it.
I thought we did approve, we approved the increase on the,
You did improve the increase, but what I'm saying is whenever I turned it in the budget, it wasn't in there.
oh, okay, I'm with you, okay.
You know what I mean?
So we just need to catch up on the,
So-
the pay side of it.
So,
Could you explain one more time so I can write this down, the increase on base salary first?
yeah, in the middle where you see the amount needed for base salary increase in senior deputy position.
Yes.
That increase is that number right there. It went from $1,234,937 to $1,277,000. It's $42,000.
What's the base salary increase per man or woman?
It would be $2,400. It's $200.
Annual.
Yeah.
And then the senior
$200 a month.
deputy?
Senior deputy's $100 extra at the 2 years, so it'd be at 2 years mark, they get $150.
Month.
Yes. So actually, the increase is $3,600 by the time you're 2-year deputy.
So what you're asking us for is a basic increase of 21,000.
Yes.
I'm good with
No, it's more than 21.
No, it's 42.
Okay.
But he's gonna come up with half.
I got you. What would the total cost be if you did the senior deputy and sergeants and corporals?
65,908. So it's about 66,000.
Yeah, 66.
I speak as a delegation.
So could you do,
That's not speak as a delegation, I'm here.
could you do 33?
43.
If we,
2 minutes to spare.
Can we do what?
could you come up with 33?
I want to speak as a delegation at your commission meeting. I thought it started at 10.
9 a.m.
9, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, next one.
Probably if I can get that carryover from salaries. Cause that'd be almost 10.
That's 10 to maybe 15. And then what about the, home confinement?
Yeah, home confinement, you know, there's 78,000 in it right now, but I don't know what's gonna be at the end of the year.
Well, part of that you pull out anyway
Right.
for the salary.
Yeah.
And part of, is half of that come from
DRC.
you and half from DRC?
Yes.
Okay. So do you wanna do this one right now and then see if we can work on the other part?
Yeah,
Okay.
after 1st of July maybe.
Now, the half and half, are you talking about the base salary increase, then look at the sergeant and corporal later?
Yes.
Or you, okay.
Okay. So the way I see it, we've got 3 options here. Is we do the 42 and split it at 21. We do the 65 and split it at 33, which you said you're not 100% sure on. Or we pick up the overage over the 21 and the county goes 44. So that locks in your 21 and us at 44. The question I have is, so this is for this salary, that's for this budget year. And then what are you looking at? And I hate to even ask this question. That's why I just asked if we can go into executive session, and we can't. So what are you looking at next year?
Next year, I'm looking at, well, that's one reason I want to talk to you, because of, I just don't, you know, I know what's in there, I know what's in home confinement and concealed weapons now. Next year, I hope to have our training program up to where we can start teaching classes a lot. That should bring in a lot of money, and I think that could probably substitute some money out of the regular budget for the training hours that we get from that.
I got you.
So that's my goal.
Because we had approved, and like I said, I call it a technical error. In other words,
Right.
we'd approved it, we'd approved the amounts, we just needed a budget revision from that, so we're not approving anything that I feel new. We're
Right.
just settling up the numbers and correcting the budget based on, you know, a clerical error is what I would call that.
And we do have regular funds coming into home confinement from their dues.
Yes.
We do have regular funds coming into concealed weapons when people renew their concealed weapons.
Yeah, the only problem with concealed weapons now, it don't generate a lot of money like it used to. But yeah, we still do have, and there's still a lot of people getting concealed weapons.
And home
surprised.
confinement's really just gonna increase. I think.
Home confinement will increase because I think all the magistrates on board trying to get as many people on home confinement and start that process there. It's just when they mess up, and Jason's staying hard on them, so you know, he's trying to keep them straight.
It might be something to consider, doing the base salary increase and senior deputy position increase for the 2025-2026 budget year, and going forward would be contingent upon the training program up and running.
Yeah, I just don't want to back off the sergeants and corporals because we already approved that. That's the only thing. I mean, it literally was already approved.
Well, if we get that other, then I just didn't want to tell the guys anything until I got this settled with you guys, because I didn't want them saying, hey, you're gonna get this in July. Because I mean, I don't know who's looking to go somewhere else, but, you know, I didn't think Kate was gonna go anywhere either, but he did, so.
Why don't we consider, you know, doing this and taking some of this from the opioid money, because really that would be a good, it's kind of what it's for. Our part of it. I mean, that would fall into the category,
On the restricted side.
yeah.
If we did that, we would do the 44, you could do the 21.
Right.
So a question I have, and like I said, since we can't go into executive session, if I apply for a job, and let's say that job pays $45,000 a year, evidently I feel that pay is suitable, or I would apply for that job to begin with.
Right.
So once I come in, where does that change take place?
I think when they just, to me,
It's peers.
the generation, exactly. I'll just be honest with you, that my guys get hounded all the time. My young guys
Right.
get hounded all the time from the city. Come over here, come over here. And you can go ask them and they'll say they don't do that.
Right.
But my guys tell me they do it.
Understood.
So, you know, it's just,
But on the
You know-
backside, like if I look at it from a military standpoint, when I was a PFC, a private, a lance corporal, and I had corporals and sergeants leading me, if those corporals and sergeants were complaining down to me, first off, that's inappropriate, it's
Right.
disrespectful, it's undermining leadership, it's all this and that. So I think that's one thing that I've had feedback on from the younger deputies, is that they're not really getting that sort of positive interaction with the older folks.
yeah.
So once I come in, I'm told I don't make enough money.
So what we're trying to do is we're trying to be more of a brotherhood now and doing things together.
But I'm just talking like just a direct, straight approach to your
Right.
sergeants and corporals to say, look, complaining goes up, not down. You're teaching these guys
Right.
they don't make enough money.
All right. Well, and a lot of them don't look at the benefits that we have. You know,
Understood.
driving a cruiser and our benefits here. And I know this. Some of our sergeants have tried to explain to the guys. You know, you get a lot more vacation time here. You get more holidays off here than the city does. There's a lot of more benefits.
Absolutely.
And actually, I know some guys that went over there that would rather not left
Right.
here.
Well, then my
But
thing
you got to go
is,
see that before.
if you're going across the street, it's because the position's vacating there. So why is the
Right.
position vacating there? You know, and it's not county against city, but
Yeah.
the only way you're going to have an opening there is if somebody leaves. So where's that person going? You know, they're chasing money to Oak Hill or wherever. You know,
Well,
down
hopefully I
the road.
get a higher guy that's going to be taking our test, and if he passes, then his background's came out clear, and
Right.
he's a certified officer
Gotcha.
that used to work at the city, and
Right.
wish he never left here.
Right, understood. But I just want to make sure that, you know, definitely from the top down on, you know, on that aspect, like I said, it just, complaining goes up, not down.
I know.
I mean, 100%. And like I said, if I apply for that job initially, I'm happy with the pay until I'm taught I'm not.
Right.
You know, so in my mind, I'm not going to take a job, half the pay on something because I'm trying to bridge a gap, you know, with a family or bridge a job. That's not going to be in law enforcement. I'm looking at
Right.
that as a career and a passion.
Right.
So, I just want to kind of throw that out there. But I mean, that would be my take. I definitely agree with Commissioner Chapman on the opioid. But like I said, my next year is, you know, if we hit this next year, there's probably not going
Right.
to be any way if we don't find that money internally
Right.
to do it again and again and again.
Right.
Because we bump there, it's going to bump again.
Yeah.
So,
There needs to be a truce.
Well, my only concern is how finite are we gonna view the opioid money?
what that meaning?
We got it.
Right.
We're gonna get a little bit more,
Right.
but then
At
how
some point in time,
reliant,
it's gonna run out.
right, how reliant are we gonna choose to be on that?
Right. And I think that's when we had our, hey guys, when we had our,
Pardon?
Or sustain.
yes.
Yeah.
Right,
Right.
that's right, that's a better way of saying it,
Right.
right.
When we had our wage and review board meeting, that's one of the things that we had talked about and I'd actually brought up, is that, you know, if we could look to reduce budget annually within the departments, you know, we could actually redisperse that money out. In other words, if we got a $7.6 million budget, as long as we stay at 7.6, if we're recouping money, we can disperse that out via pay raises and stuff and become
Sure.
self-sufficient.
Yeah.
So we would look for, you know, all the departments to gain efficiencies where they can and cut costs where they can without, you know, sacrificing quality of service. So. But I just don't want to have this same discussion next year, pulling from the
Right.
same pot. And I think that's what you're saying, right?
Generally speaking,
Yes.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yes.
So definitely not opposed to it, and I think it's something well-deserved, and we did already approve it. I mean, I don't want to back off on that, especially if it's just a clerical error.
So do you want to make a motion?
Sure, I'll make that motion that we go through with the pay raises we talked about, the base salary increase for senior deputy and the salary increase for sergeants and corporals, based on the amount that Sheriff Evans had said, $150 a month, $200 a month respectively. We do the 44 match out of the county with the 21 match that Sheriff Evans is going to recoup out of the budget, and we definitely appreciate that partnership. From the restricted opioid funds.
All right, we have a motion on the floor, is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion is
Aye.
carried. Thank you, Sheriff.
Okay, second thing I need to talk to you about.
You're only one time.
Yep, sorry.
So we're bringing CIT training to Summerville, and we're having it at the Armory. And me and Jay's been trying to work on that, and we're trying to feed them breakfast and lunch at the Armory. And it's gonna be $3,000, and the city's already approved for $1,500, and I'm asking to see if you all could approve $1,500 and go and work with them and try to provide breakfast and lunch for the guys at the,
That's multi-day, or
yeah, it's 40 hours.
That's what I
It's
thought.
5
standard
days.
week, right?
So that's breakfast and lunch the whole time?
Yep.
Not just one day?
No, that's breakfast and lunch.
But what is CIT training?
It's crisis intervention training, and
We went to that, didn't we?
yes,
That's okay. Yeah.
they have actually the yearly annual things next month
Yep, not Charleston.
in Charleston.
Yep. What's the number of people that you anticipate in that?
Well, I've got 4 going
Mhm.
myself. I'm hoping Jay's got some in there, but they can only do 20
Right,
because it's a pretty intense class.
gotcha.
So there's 20 officers total?
Yes.
Is all that's gonna be in the class?
Yes,
And some will be ours, some will be city, some will be other counties?
Other counties.
And things.
and they offer the training for free, and I think the Armory is actually letting us train for free too. So,
Is there anywhere in your budget where you could take that from?
well, the other thing I was going to come talk to you about was that I found some more money in the budget from a vehicle repair that we didn't have a check put in the budget. So we're pretty tight right now till the end of the year. But I knew that Oakwood money it's for training.
Well, that's true. Probably should take it from restricted funds.
That's would be 100%
Okay,
effective
motion.
use of it. And I think that would make a lot of people in the community happy as well, because you can see a direct result of that.
Motion.
Yes, I'll make a motion that we fund the
$1,500.
$1,500 from the restricted opioid funds for the CIT training.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion's carried.
June 3rd, we're going to have a ceremony for it's a memorial service for Tom Baker. We do have the plaques to put on the monument out front of the courthouse. So hopefully we're going to have them installed. If we don't have them installed by then we'll just have the plaques available for people to see. But we're going to have, hopefully it'll be pretty weather. We can have it outside, and hopefully Gary's available to go live that day on Facebook.
I'd count on it.
And then we're going to have a reception at the Tom Baker Training Room down at the new building, hot dogs and stuff like that.
You have a
And
time on that yet?
Noon.
You put it on.
Yes.
And if any of you all want to be a guest speaker, you're more than happy to. And we're going to have both judges if they're here. I think maybe Callahan may be out of town then, I'm not sure, but I'll have one of them speak too.
Does that, you're putting the plaques on the courthouse and that building, or?
No, it's a bronze monument, just like the Giacomo's has out here.
Okay.
And Baker's will be underneath Giacomo's because they were best friends. And then Claude's will be over on the side facing the courthouse.
And you have the plaques?
Mm-hmm.
Can you put them on?
Actually, Greg Waters will put them on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's doing all that for free.
And so we're doing both that day?
Yes.
That's cool. Yeah, that's great.
All right. Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you.
very
You
much.
guys.
Thank you for the job you're doing.
Keep working on our culture and keeping our men.
If you can get the cars that are gonna be scrapped out marked, I've got somebody to haul them.
Okay.
Ribbon around the antenna or whatever. it is.
I guess Midstate's been very, very busy, and so I haven't gotten an estimate from them. So we checked yesterday, and they're like, I don't know where they're at. So I think they had 180 vehicles come in Monday to get estimates from Charleston.
So, like,
So we're
you
trying,
have an old camper out there.
yeah, that's we actually tried to sell that last time, and didn't sell.
Could you like donate to maybe like Homeless Coalition or anybody like that?
Or a fire department.
Well, it's pretty much. I mean, it's bad.
It's been there 20 years.
Yeah, it's been there for a while.
Yeah.
And but if we don't get nothing, we'll probably do another sale here.
I was gonna say, the most value in that right now is what's underneath.
Yes,
Because
the trailer.
people make
The frame,
trailers out of
yeah.
that. So,
But yeah, that's all been awarded to the sheriff's office. We own that.
Okay.
We just need to.
Everything
try-
here we own pretty much now?
Yes.
Can you work with
Except
Mike?
for there might be a couple cars in the impound lot that's still evidence.
Can you work with Mike and go through the cars and maybe we could put an X on them or something like that so we know and you get that taken care of and cleaned up if you don't care?
Yeah, I've got somebody, that's why I said I've got somebody slated to.
Okay.
Yeah, if you don't, if you think, I mean.
Put a red X on the windshield or whatever.
I mean, there's a couple of them that I thought would have sold, but just didn't.
If you
And I
got a
think
couple
maybe
that
we
runs,
did.
we might want to throw them up again.
Yeah, I think we should because, we have people come in from time to time saying that they'd like to buy this or buy that or. so-
Well, if they've already went to auction and somebody makes an offer, we probably can let it go, right?
I would think.
Yeah.
So the price on the windshield,
would you-
though, take some pictures.
Would you care to take all that on for us?
Yeah.
And get that lot cleaned up?
Review that with legal counsel though to see if we need to put it up for auction again or not. Cause I'd almost say it'd have to be an auction again.
Really?
Anything that's not running, like I said, if you'll red exit,
Yeah, we'll figure it
haul it
out.
out.
Okay.
Yeah, scrapping, we can dispose of, but
Thank you, sir.
selling, I think we have to auction
You're
again.
welcome, thank you.
Okay, we will move on to our maintenance supervisor, facilities manager, whatever he is this week.
Yeah, whatever you want
Director
to
of
do.
maintenance, right?
Mike Moore.
All right, gentlemen, in the last commission meeting, y'all expressed some concern about some grant money we've had laying around for a couple of years for the water and sewer upgrade here in this building. So I've been working with Lindsay down at DRC on the grant and Bill Cook at Thrasher. And over the past couple of weeks, we came up with some plans to spend that grant money. So that'll replace our pipes up here over top of the sheriff's tax department coming down the hallway. We're going to replace almost every commode in this building, and we're going to step up from 1-inch water main to a 2-inch water main. All right, yes. Y'all want to look these over so you can give your approval so we can get a scope of work written up on this and put out the bid?
I'll just go on email, but I'd like to see the paper copy as well.
Absolutely. Y'all want to look at it now, or?
Yeah.
And the big thing with the,
Probably have to come over here.
going from a 1 to a 2,
We'll multitask.
will probably solve some of our drainage and wastewater issues as well, right?
Yes.
Pressure from
I was on
flushing.
my iPad, so I didn't have a lot of room.
And this also includes the gutter system in the basement and the sump pumps to take care of that moisture issue down in the assessor's
It's all
office.
in this.
Yes, sir. It's Bill's thought that that should be right about the amount that we have to work with.
And he's gonna write the scope of work.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And that's only this building.
Yes. While y'all are looking over, I would like to
Yeah,
mention that we
yeah.
did get approved for the LED lighting grant, so that'll be coming soon too.
Now, is that, we gotta put that to bid,
What's that?
the LED lighting?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
So we'll have a scope, you'll get a scope of work for
Yes.
that.
So, of course, we see the drain beds here in the basement,
Mhm.
but, I mean, are they just with a sump suspended up and then
Oh,
run
no,
out?
so they will actually cut
Or they're
into
floor
that.
drains?
Yeah, it'll be a trench in the floor,
Mhm.
and they'll put a gutter system in, and it'll, yeah, saw cut existing concrete.
So, yeah, so it's right there, D5's a sump pump.
Yes.
And then, like, again, does it go above grade again and then
So,
disposed
where
of?
we at?
Or are we
Here's
cutting
the
all the way
boiler
over
room.
here?
So, all right, it'll start back here, so this is Betty's office, right?
Right.
We'll go down to here, and this is underneath the stairwell,
Mhm.
right? Coming from the basement to the commission landing.
Mhm.
And we'll pump from this sump pump through this crawl space, through the storage, and into this sump right here.
Okay,
And then, same thing,
that one just leads back that way?
yeah, this
Okay.
is back wall of my office
So
there.
they'll actually end up in what we call the pit?
Yes,
Okay.
and then it'll
And
be
this,
pumped out.
this pump, or these pumps, where do they pump out to? Just out on into the storm sewer?
So we have an existing sump pump in the boiler room right now.
The pit
And it'll
thing,
all go
run in
into
to crawl
that
down into?
and go out into the storm drain from there.
Okay. Well, let's get this. scope
Oh,
of
okay.
work- Get this scope of work ready and then we can get this back to bid.
Yeah, that's my biggest concern.
You get it?
It's just the drainage. I could see better on,
Something like that. For what?
do you wanna see these or just
We'll have them. Yeah, so like we're gonna pull all the commodes in the building whenever we're replacing them, we'll put shut-off valves on them, and then, well, they'll all be tanked at that point, so we'll have shut-off valves, but we're gonna replace all that cast with new PVC. And at that point, we can replace the ceiling in the sheriff's tax office, the ceiling out here in this hallway.
That's the big things. I know there was, sometimes we'd have to shut the water, to fix a toilet or a sink, they
Yes.
would have to shut the, actually shut the water off.
Yes, I put in several shut-off valves in here.
Thank you.
Thank you. So y'all are good to move forward with the scope of work on that? Okay,
Yes, sir.
Great.
Will he set a budget when he does that? But
I'll have
we'll
to
set-
ask him.
Ask him.
Or
for
at least
this,
an estimate,
at least
so we have an
for this.
idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will definitely talk to him about that here in just a little while. Next thing on the agenda is a lean-to roof for the new maintenance shed. I'd like to come out 8 foot out and the length of the building, just so I got somewhere to cut and dry, so we're not getting dust in there and all of our small motors and our equipment. Probably gonna be about $2,200 to $2,400, and I'll just do that myself. Y'all are okay with that?
Where do we stand on budget to actual for the year?
I would have to get a copy from Bobby. I haven't looked at one in a little
I was
while.
trying to figure out where we're at here on this.
Could we get those after the meeting, maybe?
Do we have money for that?
In his budget? Probably not.
You said about $2,200?
Yeah.
Probably not for this year, but
There.
I can,
We can hold off on that big deal just one.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
This is to make sure if we can get it done, if we can knock it out. If
Sure.
not- You said about 2,200?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just use a couple guys from DRC. We can have done in a day or two.
Probably gonna answer the next question for now.
Go ahead. Oh, I did skip over, so our new water meter in our pit, I talked to Jeremy Nichols at Summersville Water. That's gonna run right about $7,300, and that is not covered by the grant. So we'll have to find that fund somewhere. We're gonna move that water meter from Church Street over to behind the building.
Would it be covered under our portion of the grant?
No. No. That's all exterior, and that's,
Okay.
Yeah, so it
it'd be-
wouldn't,
It'd be cash.
and we could spend it, but it wouldn't be applicable to the grant.
right,
Well,
yeah.
It's 30 years overdue.
yes, absolutely.
So we're relocating the meter for what reason?
The vault for the 2-inch meter is bigger than the one for the 1-inch, and it's high traffic area, so they like to have them in what they call a green space. So we're gonna set it out here on the back side of the building, right beside the, heat pumps and stuff that we have sitting there, where there's no traffic, and I've had plenty of room, and then we can just hook it right into the existing water line coming into the courthouse.
So they have to put a new one in anyway, so they just want to relocate it.
Because in my mind, if you're coming in up until the meter part, that should be covered by the city.
It
Where
is.
the meter is, okay.
Yeah. So there's a 6-inch line on Church Street,
Uh-huh.
4-inch line over here on Waterbury.
Right.
So they're wanting to go into the 6-inch line, come across Church Street, put a shut-off valve right there before it goes into our meter.
So we'll still come
our
off
part of it
6.
is from the meter.
Yes.
On through, that's what I think, sure. That we weren't getting called shit.
And then what about from the meter into the building to reconnect?
That's our
It'll be-
73?
Are we gonna have to trench the pad, or?
So we'll dig down whenever they're putting that meter pit in,
Mhm.
right? And then we'll just go ahead and break through the slab and get it over into the crawl space where we already have, line sets coming through for those
Mhm.
heat pumps. And then once we get inside.
Do they have a trench machine we could, or not a trench, but a bore machine we could?
That's about 2 foot thick, and
Yeah, it's right there at it. It's pretty
Yeah.
thick.
Because if we could just stay under and pop up.
Right.
Is that included in the 7,300?
Yeah.
Or is it just
yeah,
the
that's-
meter?
So, no, their labor's free. That's just for the material.
To get to the new meter location?
Yes.
So then from the meter location to hook back
Inside
up to
the
the
building,
building?
we're responsible for that,
Right.
but that's covered by the grant.
That, okay.
Yeah, it's in these prints. There you go.
So that's not the 7,300 to the city, but it would be applicable in the grant?
7,300 would go directly to the city just for the material to upgrade the meter.
Okay. Wow.
He said that went up probably
It
about
should.
30% in the past few months.
and I guess since they already.
Usually,
We have to upgrade.
I think that's what they're talking about too, usually with the
Leave it alone,
utility,
there's no cost.
they're responsible to the meter.
That's kind of where I was getting at there.
So,
They absolutely are.
So
So
they-
like, they'll come
why
off
are we
that
funding
6-inch, pardon me?
did you get a reason why we're funding it?
Yeah, the 73 should be covered by them then.
No, we have to buy the material, which is your meter pit, your meter, your
But-
saddle, all that.
That should be covered by the city in my mind as well. That's what we're saying the same thing. From the meter in, it's gonna be on us. To the
Correct.
meter should be on them.
But the meter, the
Should be
pit, the
standard,
saddle,
right?
and all
Should
that
still all be
is
city.
on the customer.
Really?
Yes.
Cause like usually, you have to pay like a tap fee, but
Even like to my
I
house.
don't know about materials.
I cover from my side of the meter in. They put the pit in, they put the meter in, they put all that stuff in. Understood that, but I mean, I'm just
Well, I mean, if y'all
saying,
just wanna look
Is that
over
from
it.
the city?
Yes.
Yes.
well, that's just gonna just break the cost down. I'm trying to figure out
Right.
why it goes to the customer to pay that. Typically from the customer side of the meter in, it's gonna be on the customer.
And maybe it's because they're upgrading service.
That's what Craig just said.
And, yeah.
Most commercial, residential.
Yes.
Right.
Hmm.
Because they even charge you more for, a larger meter. You pay commercial rate.
Right. Which I can see that,
Yes.
I can see that.
So that's, should be recouping some of that install cost.
It almost, you ought to be able to rebate it back.
I don't know.
I mean, we gotta do it.
We don't have a choice, but
There's time to think about it. I can get a better explanation from Jeremy on it and stuff. We can talk about it.
I
at a
think
later
that'd be
date.
good. Hey, Todd.
All right. Next thing is the Centos Road Program. If you've expressed interest in that, reach out to them. So as it stands right now, like these roads that we're buying, they're between $700 and $1,000 a piece, and they're not lasting very long whatsoever. Right, I've been there like 4 or 5 since I've been here already in a few months. So I've contacted Centos. We can get, let's see, that's the 3x5 exterior mat, and that will have the commission logo on it outside the doors. All right, changed out every other week. Then we have 5 interiors, 3 more interiors, and then 6 3x5s interiors. So every year that's going to run about $5,300. But that's them coming in and cleaning them every other week, every 3 weeks, and replacing the ones that get torn up. So I don't know if that's something y'all are interested in.
Including the price of the rugs.
Yes.
Does it cost more to have the logo on it? Because I mean, I think we could.
No.
So $5,300, does that
$27
include the cost of the roads?
No, that's everything.
Yes.
That's cleaning them every 2 weeks, every 3 if it's the exterior ones.
So it's basically breaking down to about $100 a week.
Yeah, under $102.76 a week.
Is it a 1-year contract?
Yes.
So we can't go over.
Could it be something that's every week in the wintertime and not as often in the good time?
Yeah, we can change that out, like we can switch up our days whenever they come and get them or whatever they said.
Or what if we went monthly? Is there a difference?
I don't have that in front of me, but yes, there is. I think it goes up a little bit monthly, honestly. They're only coming to one time.
So you're incented to have them change more often financially.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're just not keeping up, man. We have so much traffic in these buildings.
We need to digest that and get a motion.
Switch down. Put some time.
All right.
If we could get a copy of that, please.
Sure thing. Next thing I have, so we were putting blinds in the new courtroom. Judge Callahan happened to see us putting blinds in the new courtroom and like an estimate on his. So I went ahead and got that together for him. So, yeah, Judge Callahan's office is gonna be about $1,700 for his, I think he has 6 windows up there.
Anything wrong
Or
with
4,
things,
I'm
is he?
sorry. They're just old and paint's peeling off of them, they look pretty bad. Yeah.
Are they functional?
Yeah. They are functional.
I really don't think if, as conservative as he is, if he didn't need him, he wouldn't ask.
And Dave Sells also asked and got an estimate on his. His is $2,260, but he said not to worry about that. That's way too much.
Yes,
Right.
it is,
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
especially for people who never sees his office.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The done.
There's that proposal. I'll pass them now. I made one for Bobby too.
You damn right. But there's two rooms.
Oh. So this just mirrors the, it's the exact same thing?
Pretty much.
Yeah, it's the same for this table.
Table on that one?
Yep.
All right. Next thing up, just want to give y'all an update on BB&T. Roger from 911 Center down there has been taking some people over from DRC, cleaning it up. Looks pretty good. They probably have another day left in it on the interior, and then probably as soon as it cleans or clears up a little bit, we can get outside and do some trimming and all that stuff. So I'd say within the next week, it should be good on BB&T.
You good, Mike?
Yep.
Good. Commissioner comments? Wait. You want to say something?
I think I missed public comment. I didn't realize you started at 10 instead, or excuse me, 9 instead of 10 this morning. So I can wait. I can hold my comments until your next meeting. It's
Sure.
fine. Thank you.
Commissioner comments?
Mouth of the South go first?
I'm good.
No, it's Mouth
You're
of
of the
South.
East.
Yeah, Mouth of the East. So we got Memorial Day weekend coming up. Hope everybody has a good, safe Memorial Day weekend. Make good choices, have fun. I'm getting a lot of complaints about vapes. You start talking about that in the parent circles, and you start to see faces turn red, ears light up. I despise them. I wish they were illegal. I hate them. I despise them. I wish people would conduct themselves with honesty and integrity when they run a business like that. I'm actually trying to work on legislation for the next round. We'll put that in front of at least one delegate, one senator, that there's several other states that you have to be 21 years old, and that's verified or validated through an electronic scanner that scans your ID. And if folks have concerns about that run those type of establishments, I guess they could have somebody sit at the front door. And I think what that would do was it would discourage people who are underage from even going into the places because they legally couldn't go inside. And I talked to one of the smoke shops in town here, and the only thing that somebody under the age of 18 can buy is a backpack or a incense. You can buy backpacks at Walmart all day long. You can order your incense off the internet. But there's a lot of trouble going on in the communities, a lot of things going on in the schools. The last 9 weeks of last year, there were 25 kids sentenced to or whatever you call that sentence, to the Alternative Learning Center. And out of 25, 18 of them were vape related. We're seeing the synthetic THC in them. We are seeing fentanyl in them. We're seeing a lot of things with those. You've got kids selling them to other kids. You've got parents buying them for their kids to sell them to other kids so they can actually foot the bill of their addiction habit. Like I said, they're just a nasty, vile product, and I believe that's going to lead us into our next epidemic with regards to drug use, whatever that is and however that manifests. But I believe that's a carrier of that, and I despise the product as a whole. If you're over the age of 21, you make a legal purchase or a legal sale, I'm all for that, but I think we need to start speaking up and pushing our legal entities and our judicial entities and whoever is responsible for that to start busting, doing stings, doing things like that, and settle it down in the county. I mean, people talk about their kids coming home daily. They'll take one, they'll come home the next day with another one. The second hurdle of that's going to be you can get online and order them without age verification from anywhere around the world, and I guess that'll be something that a fish that somebody has to fry at a national level or state level is beyond me.
Todd?
Yeah, it's bad. It's horrible.
I didn't think you could do it online.
Yeah, they can actually, and no, like anybody can go online and order vape from China. Anybody. So, I didn't know either until I went to that Tall Cop Says Stop seminar down in Fayette County. So learned a lot that day. And there's another, just an FYI, there was some sort of legislation passed that as long as it's less than 0.3% of THC, it's considered hemp. So basically, I sell you some THC gummy worms and say if you eat one of them, that's hemp, but don't eat 7 of them because that'll make you high. As a kid, I'm going to eat 14 of them and get twice as high. So I think that was an ugly, it was a Farm Bill of 2018 that I'm just now coming into knowledge of. I'm going to do some research and study on that. But I'd say a lot of money exchanged through hands, and people paid to get stuff legalized, and they just found a loophole and worked it. So, happy Memorial Day.
I'm just going to follow up with a question. I should have asked when the sheriff was in here. Where are we at with the RAISE? Is it RAISE in the schools? RAISE program?
No, the DARE.
DARE. Has that been enacted yet? I mean, where is that at?
No, I think they were looking to determine who they wanted to do. So I think they were looking at 2 officers to do that. The cost of the actual DARE program, because it's been revitalized, and I believe it's a lot more effective than it used to be.
Yeah.
Just based on the trending up and how the teenagers feel and think and react to things nowadays.
Obviously, that could be a big part in Babes, right?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
We need
And
to
then
get,
the
we
raise
need
is
to get an
actually,
update on that.
raises in the schools as well.
Yeah.
So I don't remember the exact acronym what that stands for, but it's bad and it's horrible. And the last thing I want to say is just remember, you're not sucking in a water vapor, you're sucking in oil that's vaporized. So spray paint the insides of your lungs. Don't do that.
Mm.
And that was federal level stuff that I'm talking about, not state level stuff.
All right, we have Todd Gunner here from Carol Miller's office. Do you have anything to say?
Captain's office.
Or Captain's office, I'm sorry.
I'm like, there's not here, is he?
Yeah.
No, I don't have anything to say. Just here to say hi.
Okay, the only thing I have to say is Monday at 11, is that what time it is? The Memorial Day event?
Yes.
At the
11:11.
At the park. Come, and then after that is the opening of the Military Museum. I don't know the address, it's Carlotta Evans' former building at 1 o'clock, I believe it's at 1.
Yes.
So everybody show up.
And also on June 3rd at noon, we do have the Tom Baker Memorial Ceremony for placing the plaque on the memorial on the courthouse lawn. And that will also include Claude Hamilton as well. So I think that's nice that we're finally getting that done as well.
Anything else? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion is on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion has carried.